Great awakening, light lords, and grand rising to those who have not yet awoken, to know that everything stems from thought. Duality is an illusion. All there is zero. There is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All of that is a projection of the possibility of oneness, of zero, of all that can be within the nothingness of darkness inverted into light. Now I want to address this because I want people to know themselves, because I study to show myself approved unto the Lord my God, which is the all that is, that I am, the oneness of all that can ever be. So now I want people to know. I want people to get this. I want people to listen. Actually listen to what I'm saying, because there's a lot of people that won't agree with this. But once they hear exactly what I'm about to say and the way that I'm gonna put it into its simplest terms, into layman's terms for you, then hopefully I'll get the whole point across, okay, to you. If not, you'll get it either through your own, doings, or you will probably have it in another lifetime, okay, or another life cycle through reincarnation if you choose to, ignore this knowledge and stay within the cycle of the recycling energy of natural living, okay, the recycling of life for betterment, okay? Now, everything is literal. Everything that you think is literal, everything is literal to those who do not seek deeper, who do not look who do not uncover the layers, who do not go deeper to look within something, okay? Who do not go deeper to find the source of what that thing actually is, or where it comes from, whether it be a name, an item, any type of object, or whether it be some type of, natural element, whether it be some food, whether it be the way a person speaks or how a person is, or whether it be yourself, looking deeper into yourself to know actually where your thoughts stem from, where things come from, where your actions come from, where your whole experience comes from, okay? This is studying. This is studying to show thyself approved until the Lord. The Lord is the light. The Lord is the Lord is the energy. The Lord is the energy of all that is divided, rightly divided into sections of itself, so that it can communicate with itself and have an experience. Because if you all knowing and know everything that's going to happen, then there is no need for experience. There is no need for any information. There is no need to find or to seek any type of truth, because you already have it within you. So the Lord, you got to break these words down, because when you see a word and you hear a word that sounds similar to another word that means something, that means there's purpose for that. Okay? Lowerd, Lowerd, and Lord, Lord, are similar for a reason. The reason is because the Lord is everything that has been lowered. The Lord is everything that has been lowered. It came from a source. Okay? The Lord, that which simulates the reality around you, is different forms of nothingness and darkness inverted into light, and then divided and sectioned into different colors and formats. Okay? Now, what I want people to see is that through this compartmentalization, through these divisions of light, through these different colors, we create everything. Everything is created from this. Okay? Everything is created from this. And this is the law of oneness. Okay? The law of oneness, all is mental, all is one. Okay? Really, all is zero. That's what I'm about to start saying. I'm about to start telling people, hey, all is zero, man. All is zero. Duality is an illusion. Okay? Now, to break this down simply, To break this down simply, please listen to me. Okay, for instance, you can take any object. Okay, everything that you see is not just literal. It's not just literal. It's all symbolic. It's all a representation of something else behind it, expressing itself. Everything that you see is an effect. It was mentally thought of. It was a thought before it became concrete, before it became a physical manifestation, a holographic representation of what it was before it became physical or tangible. Okay? For instance, for example, you can take any object like a ball, you can take a can, you can think of any object, okay? For instance, this computer. Okay, this computer right here. Somebody had to think of this computer. Somebody had to want this computer to be in existence. Somebody had to many people had to come together and make this. Many thoughts, many frequencies of thought, many people's imaginations and vibrations. Somebody had to think of this, but from one source, somebody had to think of this. One person had to actually think of an original idea of this computer being made, okay? Of this computer being physically manifest and expressed. But see, when something is in your mind, when there's a thought form, when you imagine something that you want made or created, quote unquote, something that you manipulate the energies around you and bring into physical manifestation, you think of it. Now I want you to actually think of an object. Think of a ball. Think of a ball. Okay? Think of a baseball or a softball. Okay? Now, as you're thinking of it in your mind, you cannot physically feel it. You can't feel it with your hands. You're not seeing it with your external vision. With your external vision, you're not seeing it. This is all in your mind's eye. You're not smelling it. There is no smell. There is no smell to this thought. There is no hearing. You cannot hear this thought. There is no physical, like external, like these ears that we have, okay? These eyes that we have, this nose that we have. There is no taste. If you would just imagine yourself tasting it, there is no taste. Okay? There are no senses. All of that is illusion. The thought, okay, the thought of it itself is an effect. The thought of that object within your own mind itself is an effect of what's happening within you, of what you're actually doing. Now, it's my duty to make you conscious of what you're actually doing. Okay, what you're actually doing is you're taking nothing. You're taking nothing. Complete darkness. Imagine complete darkness, man. Complete darkness. Like nothing, literally. No feeling, no tasting, no hearing, no seeing, no smelling. Okay? None of it. No seeing. None of it. Complete darkness. And from that darkness, you have a want to do something. You have a want. You have an initial desire to actually get something accomplished. That automated system of you being a being of expression and receptivity of that expression, receiving that expression back to yourself, inverts the darkness, which means invert meaning flip inside out. Okay, that's what invert means, invert, which means it flips it in onto itself. Okay, it flips that darkness onto itself dependent on what desires or wants through magnetism, through yourself expressing, through the flow of motion, through the mind moving, through yourself moving things in your mind, moving the darkness, inverting it into light, breaking that light down, within your own mind, and using the light, the different fractions and parts of light within your own mind's eye, your visualization, and making a thought form, making a visualization. And that's before concrete physical feelings. Okay, that's before concrete manifested the five senses. That's before it all. Okay? So, when you don't want anything, when you want nothing, when you want for nothing, okay? When you completely want for nothing, this is what's going to happen. It's going to show you that when you express nothing, you get nothing. And when you get nothing, and you are satisfied with nothing, you are satisfied once you express nothing, once you lie down, be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am, the I am that I am, the infinite I am, eternal being. Okay? And become satisfied, become so used to that nothing, being in that state. You lie down and you bind yourself, your consciousness, with the nothing that you are, with the darkness, with the Lord, with God, with oneness, with zeroness, and you become satisfied with that. You are going to be shown that you cannot stay within that nothingness, because as soon as you are satisfied with that nothingness, you will create another desire for something. And that something must automatically be created. There will be a new dimension, a new realm of thought, a new visualization, a new place to experience, a new time frame, a new body. You must renew your mind. You must renew your mind. You must become a new human. You must latch yourself on to divine genetic enlightenment. We must acknowledge that these different sciences today and these different spiritualities and religions today all have pieces of the truth that we can take to experience the truth for ourselves. The Christ is within you. 1 Corinthians says, the Christ has always been in you. The Christ has always been in you. And that nothing should be added to the doctrine or preaching of Christ. Because maturity is basic. Of course, you can prove Christ with different sciences in other books. But to think that duality or anything separate, quote unquote, separate from yourself, will get you anywhere is an illusion. Everything is thought created. Everything is symbolic. Everything is allegorical. Everything is metaphorical. No thing is literal. No thing, nothingness itself, that is what is literal. No thing is literal. So we have to start seeing that our thoughts create everything. And we have to start analyzing our thoughts and how we think and get to the source of why we think the way we do. Start to aligning our subjectivity, start to aligning our individuality and our beliefs and our opinions with objective facts and whole truth and experience and apply it to your lives for yourself, for your own betterment, in order to increase the vibrations of the collective and unlock the genes of the all within human experience. See, that ball, that softball or baseball that you imagine, you imagined it in your mind. You imagined it in your pineal gland. You imagined it in your brain, in your visualization temple, and within your temple, your holy temple, your church, this body that we have. You visualize that. But when you visualized it, you had no senses. You had no senses with it. No 5 physical senses at least. All you had was the feeling of a desire. Ooh, just the feeling of that desire. Just the internal feeling, not the touch feeling like that. I mean, like the internal feeling, the thought, the impressed thought, the impressed thoughts, the frequent thoughts that are constantly repeating themselves over and over again to the point where they become automated. Because you being a being of expression and reception of own self, all there is self. Since all there is self, and you express something, you want something to happen, then it must happen within you first. Anything that's created on this plane, anything that's quote unquote created, was really not created, just manipulated into existence by using different energies. Anything here that's concretely manipulated into physical manifestation must be done first by thought. You must use the thought. So you must get to the source of thought. And until then, you will not see the true meaning or the true purpose of life. At least your life, if not all life. If not all life, you won't even be able to see your purpose, your specific purpose of your life, which should be done first. Because everything around you is a symbolic representation of a part of your own mind. And if it's in your environment, it's something that you need to understand about yourself. If you do not wish for it to be in your physically manifested environment, then you need to fix something that's within. You need to reorganize the manipulated energies you have within your own self in order to move those items, those physically manifested items, out of your reality, out of conscious view, back into the subconscious, for them to work where they're supposed to work. Let them do what they're supposed to do, and you do what you do. The golden rule: do unto others as you will want them to do unto you. Do unto others as you will want people to do. Anything that you will want anybody to do, do it. Anything that you will want. If you want peace, be peaceful with everybody around you. If you want to argue, go argue with everybody and see what happened to you. Because it's cause and effect. Everything is cause and effect. It's all your life. I just want you to understand that duality itself is an illusion. Duality itself is an illusion. We need to go deeper and look into the metaphorical, allegorical, and symbolic aspects of all things in nature. Even unnatural things like this computer. We need to get to the source. We need to think, okay, where did this computer come from? It came from somebody's mind, man. Who that person himself, that person, him or herself, is even a culmination of thoughts. Everything is thought. All is mental. The first law of Hermeticism, or the first law of nature, without all the scientific definitions, nature. Okay? We must connect with nature and see the all within the illusion of division. That is how you become saved. That is how you properly use the Holy Spirit and do not blaspheme it. I am Jamashak, and I am here to live out and teach higher wisdom as an example for the collective consciousness. And I say today that we will open our minds to new levels of thinking, new ways of thought that transcend suffering and duality, that transcend back and forth swaying movements of the law of rhythm, and keep us within the balance, keep us from recycling back into this reincarnation, bettering ourselves to the point where we do not have to come back into physical manifestation, knowing that we are spiritual beings and everything is self, knowing that we are the one, that we are the zero. All within an individual, and all of those individuals acting together, knowing that they are one, knowing that they are zero, knowing that they are the one connected with the zero that is all that is, the I am, the great I am that I am, Alpha and Omega, beginning and end, tied together, meaning there is no beginning or end, only infinity. Then shall we be in the zero era, the kingdom of heaven, the great Eden, paradise, Zion. Nibiru. Ashe Amen Ra. Share and subscribe. I love myself, family. Spread this information and enlighten thyself and study to show thyself approved until the Lord thy God, until the Lord, or broken up energies, rightly divided energies of oneness, God, where all things stem from and all things return to. Peace.